Oh, I think we're live. Bear with me 1 second. Hello. Catherine, hello. Tish, hello. Brian, hi. Anne, hello, hello. We've got... Oh yeah, Brian, yeah, I heard you're from Truro. That's good. You can give me some local insights if you like. Yeah, it's a great little city. Laurel, Happy Kitchen, 2 favourite food places in Truro. Oh, feel free to let me know. There's a Polish grocery store and a gelato shop close to each other. Nice. Oh, hey, Catherine. Yeah, it's nice to see you, so to speak. Yeah, I've missed some of you. I'm hoping everything's okay in terms of audio and so forth. Hello, Rose, by the way. Plaza is always a good place to see a good film. Oh, nice. There's a box on the screen. Because the box showing for me, I don't know how I get rid of that. If that's showing up for you, I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah, Streamlabs must have done something a bit different now. Yeah, I mean, I'll just have to roll with that for now. Yeah, Streamlabs just seems to be doing its own thing, I guess. So, oh well. Yeah, I hope you're all well. Has some of the chat just been superimposed on the screen as well, or is that just me? Oh, maybe it's gone again, I don't know. These apps, they never make it simple, do they? Oh well. Honestly, I've done nothing new except uninstall and reinstall Streamlabs, so what can I say? Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months for me. I'll elaborate in a second, but yeah, I had quite an unexpected outcome with the sister channel, so that's been quite exciting. What, maybe you want to do this, what, stream from Truro, do you mean, or stream in general, or? If you mean stream from Truro, I happen to be here because I'm doing some filming for the 4K Explorer channel itself, and also on the sister channel. It helps for me to have footage of as many cities as possible in England. And Truro is actually the second to last city in England for me to have filmed in, which means there's only one city I'm yet to go to in England to film, which is Salford, of all places. Which is kind of frustrating because I've been to Manchester several times, but it just never occurred to me to cross the river and film Salford for a bit, but there we go. And thank you. Yeah, it's a lovely city. I've also been out and about in, well, I've been to today Falmouth, I've been to Penryn, and to Redruth. Yeah, Rebecca, I'll try. It's yeah, it's just a hobby that's kind of snowballed a bit for me, just covering as much of the UK as I can. You've performed in Truro Cathedral many times. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful cathedral. So, hello, Susan. And Anne, if I forgot to say hello. Yeah, if anyone's wondering, Streamlabs is doing a little bit of an interesting thing with the chat and whatnot, but we'll just roll with that. Very live acoustics in the cathedral. If you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. Exactly, Rebecca. Suhal, hello. Elizabeth, hello. Welcome to Truro. Yeah, good to see the familiar names. Hope you're all well. And Cynthia, hello. Linda, hello. Yeah, it's turning out to be a nice evening here in Truro. The sun will be going down soon as well. The sunset and the bells, indeed. And again, just ignore Streamlabs if it's playing up and showing chat that it shouldn't be, but that's another story. And Marlene, hello. Right, so in time-honoured fashion, I'll just flip the old camera and say hello. Hello again to those of you who know me from heygo.com. And if you don't know, heygo.com was a streaming website which shut down in April of this year, sadly. but a lot of streamers from there have come on over to YouTube and Facebook and various other platforms, and we're doing live tours since then. And I do have an explanation to that I owe to those of you who know me from Hago, which is that I took a bit of a break about 3 months ago, which was mostly down to the fact that I had quite an unexpected outcome with the sister channel that I started, Alex in Great Britain. It's where it allows me to talk about some of the places that I've visited in a more sort of a free-flowing way, rather than just the videos that you see on this channel, which are mostly just sort of the immersive walks and the occasional live stream. So there was one particular video that did rather well on the algorithm. It's up to 200,000 views, and since then I got to monetization in about well, just under 2 months, which was not what I was expecting at all. And I owe a thank you to those of you who subscribed from the off, because the hardest part of starting a YouTube channel is starting it, as it were. Hardest part of doing a YouTube channel, should I say, is starting it. So you're a massive help with that. So, and yeah, it's anyone's guess where I go from here. What it does mean is that I have to be consistent with the uploads, and in order to do that I need to have a strong back catalogue of video footage, which means I've been visiting a lot of cities. For instance, just lately I did a tour of Scotland, which I didn't stream, but I covered Stirling, Perth, Aberdeen and Inverness. So they'll be coming soon to the channel as pre-recorded tours, but out of respect for Sam, I didn't stream from Scotland. Might just feel a bit weird. But what I did want to do is show you Truro, because it's quite an epic location geographically, and there's a lot to love about Truro. And also the usual applies with regards to tips. I'm sure you know the drill. There's a super chat option, super stickers, etc. I've also got a buy me a coffee account if you're interested. There's some details in the description below there. But I'll see you first time to YouTube, Brian. Well, welcome, and yeah, I hope I'll do my best to do Truro justice. And yeah, Marlene, there are some words appearing on the screen. That's just Streamlabs being a bit temperamental, I'm afraid. I'll just have to live with that for now. But yeah, in the meantime, I should talk about Truro. So I'll just do a little bit of an introduction to where we are. First of all, in terms of our bearings, we're about 250 miles west of southwest of London, or more simply, we're about 35 miles east of Land's End. So, as I mentioned, it is pretty much the most isolated city in England in that respect. And yeah, I'll give you a little background as we go. Of course, there's the cathedral that you can see popping out just a second ago. In the meantime, I do have a little warning that there will be some scenes of nudity in this stream. Not from myself, but from this chap here. Oh, there's a town of Truro in Nova Scotia. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love it when there are namesake towns. But yeah, so this interesting sculpture here is the drummer sculpture, unveiled in 2011. The idea is I think the idea is that it demonstrates that the county of Cornwall beats to a different drum, and it was made out of bronze that was sourced from locally mined copper and tin. And that's one sort of a very much of a theme to Truro and Cornwall as a whole, this the tin mining industry, which we'll get into as well. You walk past him all the time, Brian, I bet. And as you can see here, the drummer, maybe Brian you can verify, Anne Tabora, is that Cornish for the drummer maybe? 2011 by Tim Shaw, Cornwall, a place where the drum beats differently, commissioned by Cornwall Council. And yeah, just be careful not to pan straight up, because that might give you a bit of an eyeful, so I'll just go around this way. Interestingly enough, this statue was unveiled by one of Truro's most famous sons, and that was a certain drummer, and that was Roger Taylor of Queen, who grew up here in Truro. He was from King's Lynn. He was born in King's Lynn, but he grew up here. And And yeah, so here we are with the drummer boy just living his best life, beating the drum in the city centre here. I believe Roger Taylor, when he did unveil this, he pointed out that drummers are often the butt of the joke. But moving swiftly on. This, by the way, is Lemon Quay, and Quay is in Q-U-A-Y. This was historically a very bustling port, because Truro is along 3 rivers, although the rivers have since silted up. So the quay is no longer a quay in that sense, but in the sort of early 19th century, this was a hive of activity where exports would go out with the copper, the tin, the slates, the wool, etc. But now it's the site of the weekly markets, Wednesdays and Saturdays, I believe. Arlen Steinberg, hello. Lethargy, hello. Welcome to Truro. And also, here's something, if you're a bit of a British icon, the K6 telephone boxes, 4 in a row, because why not? Interestingly enough, there is one city in England which has white telephone boxes. If you watch on my sister channel, you'll perhaps know the answer to that. So if anyone knows which city in England has white or cream coloured telephone boxes, feel free to let me know. I'll just pause. And I'll see if anyone comes up with the answer. In the meantime, I can give you a very clear view as to where I am exactly, because we have this map here, and this has a very interesting story. So of course we're here, and this map pertains to the 1805, the Battle of Trafalgar, when the captain was he landed in Falmouth and delivered the news to London, and he did so by changing horses 21 times. So for those of you who are interested in the stagecoach era, this is what it took to get to London from, well, Falmouth to Truro to all these other destinations, some familiar names here. And it took 37 hours, and he finally arrived in London and delivered the news that there's victory at the Battle of Trafalgar, although sadly Vice Admiral Nelson died in that battle. Oh, Susan's got the answer. Yes, Hull is the city with the white telephone boxes. So, just little bits of trivia that you can wow your friends and family with at the dinner table, I'm sure, if you subscribe to my sister channel. Now I'll just give a little glimpse of Lemon Street. Because it's once been described as the finest Georgian architecture west of Bath, which is quite the claim, but it sort of lives up to it, I'd say. And in the YouTube video that I pre-recorded earlier today, I've done a walk from the very top of the street down, but this will give you an idea of the nice Georgian architecture of Lemon Street. Lemon, nothing to do with the fruit, it was the name of the family who accrued their wealth from the smelting of tin in a nearby factory, and brought that wealth here to Truro. Oh, the same stone from Bath. Yeah, it does look like it. Yeah, the old Bath stone. And so now we'll get a better view of the cathedral that's been promised in both the thumbnail and in glimpses at the start of the stream. So here it is. You'll have to forgive the sound effects, that's going on in real life, but aside from that, Here we have the one of the three spires of Truro Cathedral poking through. And I'll explain in depth about Truro Cathedral. For now, I'll just say, although it may look like a medieval cathedral, it is actually Victorian, or specifically, it was built between 1880 and 1910. The Victorians had a great respect for the sort of the Gothic architecture of old. Hello, Shaquille. Hello. I'll just move past this loud vehicle. And so we will just manoeuvre around and get a better look at the cathedral. In order to do so, I'll just take a right here, and there's an interesting building coming up, namely a coinage hall. So which means I should explain about coinage and something called stannery towns. So Truro was a stannery town back from around the medieval era up till the 19th century. I say town, but it is a city, of course. It was given city status in 1877. But a stannery town, if you're wondering what that is, it may help to think back to chemistry class and the periodic table, and to ask what was the periodic symbol for tin. I'll just stop briefly just to mark our respects to this war memorial. So the periodic table, sorry, the periodic symbol for tin, of course, is SN, which is Latin for stannum. So a stannery town relates to tin mining, but specifically stannery towns had a specific role in which a coinage hall like this one would play a role. I'll explain as we go around. So, oh, Natalie, thank you. Thank you very much. The church bells are acknowledging. Yeah, they're in fine resonance tonight, indeed. Yeah, so SN is stannum, Latin for tin, and so a stannery town was where the tin that had been smelted would be smelted down into uniform blocks, and they come to these towns. Truro was one of them. There are a few others in Cornwall. There's Liskeard, Lostwithiel, Bodmin, and Helston. So they come to these towns and they would tip off a corner of the block of tin to verify that it was the real deal, and they would also then stamp it to prove that it was to prove where it was mined from, and also to verify that tax had been paid to the crown, so, as was the custom then. And interestingly enough, Cornwall had its stannery towns, and Devon had its stannery towns as well. Devon being, of course, the neighbouring county just east of Cornwall. And it's said that Devon only paid half the amount of tax that Cornwall did back in medieval times, owing to the fact that Devon was in and is in England, and Cornwall was considered a foreign country. That's what I've heard anyway. I don't have a source, but apparently that is the case. And just pause for a second, because why not? And Rose, thank you. Chuckle, yeah, I do indeed like the rivers, yeah. Yeah, because Truro is on 3 rivers. There's the River Kenwyn, the River Allen, and the River Glastenian. But they've mostly silted up around the area where the old the port of Truro was back in the olden times. Yeah, I'll have to have a word, see if anyone knows how to get Streamlabs to behave itself, but oh well. But yeah, so seems like a shame to move on from this spot, but there are some rather epic shots of the cathedral close up to show you. And so and yeah, I was trying to think what I was going to say next, actually, but yeah, just like to say, I've as we head around to the cathedral, as I say, it's been quite a interesting couple of months as well. I've been doing a lot of filming in East Anglia, or sort of east of England, because they were doing a sale on the Greater Anglia, the train company, and hence my latest upload on the sister channel is the prettiest towns in Essex. Oh, thank you, Anne, by the way, if I missed that. So oh, thanks for that to do, yeah. Oh, Marlene, yeah, I'll do my best to juggle my my various outlets, because yeah, I was certainly not expecting to be managing 2 YouTube channels at this point, but I'm up for the challenge. And so like I say, this is a cathedral dating from 1880 to 1910, and it contains 3 spires, which will be more apparent as we move around. And there is actually one medieval cathedral in England with 3 spires, and I'll just pause to see if anyone has the answer in the chat there. But this not being a medieval cathedral isn't one of them as such, but it is inspired by Lincoln Cathedral. We could say that with pretty good authority, based on the layout of its towers and the fact that Lincoln Cathedral was once upon a time a medieval cathedral with 3 spires. It was at one time the tallest building in the world, surpassing the Great Pyramid of Giza. And that was until the central spire collapsed, and it was just left with the 2 spires, and then they dismantled those 2 as well later on for safety concerns. But Truro Cathedral is sort of, in a way, a miniature of Lincoln Cathedral pre-1548, I believe, when the spire collapsed. And now I'm going to take you to a car park, because I'm just that kind of guy. Oh yes, Lichfield is the correct answer, Marlene. Yeah, Lichfield is the one medieval cathedral with 3 spires in England. Oh, hey, if you disagree with my top about Essex, that's absolutely fine. I'm all about democracy and freedom of speech on my channel. You're welcome to suggest your own pick for the top, of course, as long as you don't say Basildon. Exactly, Elizabeth, a car park. It's the anticipation must be killing all of you right now. So here it is.
Oh no, it's fine. What is?
Okay, so what is special about this car park is the view. Specifically the view when I pan around 180 degrees. Because yeah, one of the perks of doing what I do is you get to see one or two special car parks. Not often, but there was one in Carnarvon, for instance, the Castle car park. Any bodies? Probably that's more of a Leicester thing, I think. But well, you never know. There could be one around. But yeah, as car parks go, I think you'll agree this one isn't too hard on the eye or the ear with the bells chiming. But anyway, there is yet another view of the cathedral that I will show you. But the layout of Truro is very much that the cathedral is the centrepiece and everything kind of falls in and around that. Richard III, yeah, he was an interesting character. One of the great mysteries as to whether he killed his nephews or not. Interestingly enough, on that street sign there, you see Perranporth. That is a seaside village just north of here. And what's interesting is that the Porth suffix is reminiscent of Welsh in the sense that you get some Welsh prefixes like Porthcawl, Porthmadog, etc. The point being that Cornwall has its own language historically, Cornish, which is from the same family of languages as the Celtic languages. So there's a bit of a Welsh flavour to Cornwall, just a tad anyway. Walkers do really good fish and chips. Well, yeah, it's been some great fish and chips aromas, I'll say that much on this day out. Yeah, Falmouth was especially nice in terms of the seafoody smells there. Gagner's restaurant on the right is good. Did I? Or Ganges? Oh yeah, that's. Yeah, I guess that's an Indian restaurant. Yeah, well, good to know if anyone's visiting Truro. Here's some more of the cathedral. I'm making you hungry, Polly. Oh, I've not even mentioned Cornish pasties yet. Yeah, interesting enough, Cornish pasties are sort of like the local delicacy, as it were. And it turned out to be a very practical meal for the tin miners when they were down the pits, so I gather. I think they were invented before the sandwich, because the Earl of Sandwich was 18th century, and the pasty's been around since, I believe, Henry VIII or earlier. So it's a good pasty place near the cathedral. Yeah, I'll look out for that. Anyway, it's a nice little water feature here. Oh, the bell stopped. Yeah, for those of you who may not know, Cornish pasties, they're, what are they, meat and potatoes and swedes and onions wrapped up in their pastry. And yeah, they make a superb lunch. I've had them on several outings myself. I normally go for the Ginsters variety, but not that they're paying me to say that. But yeah, I did clock a pasty shop here that was closed at 5 though, so that's seemed a little counterintuitive to close it before dinner time, but oh well. An Earl of grilled cheese, yeah, that'd be good. Now here we have some shots that I can't quite put into words. Oh, this is indeed a lovely place for lunch, especially with these benches right here. So yeah, anyway, so the architect, by the way, is John Loughborough Pearson. He lived to the age of 80. He died in 1897, which was about 17 years into the construction of this incredible cathedral. Although his son took over and it was finished in 1910. And to me it's quite staggering to think how... Oh no, I'm sure they do, but they fill a hole. So. Yeah, and to me it's... I'll just have to speak over the bells, but to me it's staggering how they had stonemasons of this quality a little over 100 years ago, this recently, when you think of the slightly more modern buildings of today. But yeah, I mean, to me this site is comparable to Salisbury Cathedral, even if it's not as tall and not nearly as old. But there is something rather special I'd like to show you around the corner, and that is an information panel and a very special photo of the very legends who built this incredible building. So this is what we're looking at: workers building the west front, standing by the west doorways, March 1899. This was the same generation, by the way, that built the railways. The likes of which we'll never see again. People of this calibre, I mean. And this was under construction in 1900. And here, for a direct comparison, is how it is today. Let's have a close look at the artisanship. Got this nice rose window here. And by the way, Truro is Cornwall's only city. It was granted city status in 1877 by Queen Victoria, and it is one of the smallest cities in the UK. One of them, that is. Speaking of which, I may well feature a video of that on the old sister channel, smallest cities in England. Incidentally, I've also I've filmed in every city in Scotland now, but I've filmed in every city in Wales bar one, that being St Asaph. So I'll have to get around that way at some point. What's the occasion for the bells? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe Brian knows. Do they do this every evening, or is it something going on? I don't see anyone outside of the church or anything. Yeah, it does sound like wedding bells. Or just don't see any people around, that's all. But could it be like a rehearsal for a wedding, maybe? I don't know. Practice, yeah, maybe. Of course, they had to have a bit of scaffolding around this end, so I'll go no further, but I'll just give you one more shot this way. And so yeah, if anyone's thinking of having a visit to Truro, then this is an idea of what to expect. But then you also have nearby towns like Falmouth, there's Newquay, there's Penzance if you're a Gilbert and Sullivan fan, there's St Ives as well, and yeah, lots to love about Cornwall. And if they did that in California, they get noise complaints. So oh wow, Elizabeth, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. So we're just approaching the blue hour, I believe, as it's known on the older circles. There's a real sense of serenity you get in this city that you don't get in the big cities. I'll say that much, being someone who lives in London. But yeah, it's quite special. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a pretty fitting note to wrap things up on. Yeah, I'll just say in terms of future plans, I don't have any specific streams lined up, but I'll certainly look into the options. And what was I saying? Yeah, and I do need to be mindful of sort of signal issues, which is why some of the small towns that I was able to do on Hago that I perhaps wouldn't be able to do on YouTube, considering that on YouTube you have the full 30 frames per second, whereas Hago is 15. But Truro seems to hold out fine with the signal, so, well, as far as I can see anyway. And yeah, I have a few places in mind. I still need to get to the Isle of Wight at some point. Maybe I might go back to Newcastle at some point as well. But nice strawberries before bed. Ah, oh, thanks, Polly. Thank you. And thanks for all the kind words. Thank you. And yeah, like I say, feel free to check out the sister channel, which I think the link is just below the banner. And then you can check out the prettiest towns in each county, because they're sort of my passion project, if you like. It's, you missed your trip to Truro this summer. You're in northern Cornwall. Oh. But yeah, it's yeah, exactly. I'll see if anyone knows about the chat across the screen issue, but and thank you, Catherine and Shaquille and Rose, thanks, and practice break over. Yeah, a little tea break, and now they're back on the bells. So oh well, let's see. But yeah, so yeah, it's great to see you again, and I'll yeah, if you want to stay in the loop, then as I say, you can subscribe, hit the notifications and all that jazz. And yeah, so I've got a coach back to London in about just over half an hour from now. The coach station's just around the corner, so that's no problem. And yeah, hope you've all been well, and hope all the other streamers doing well as well. And yeah, I think I'll leave you some closing shots of the cathedral in full voice, as it were. So until the next time, take care. This is me signing out, and have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whichever, and all the best. Take care, bye.